Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, 5-Minute Math with Miss Spencer. Today we're going to look at order of operations. We usually use the acronym PEMDAS to represent order of operation. And PEMDAS is used to help students to remember how to solve math problems that contain more than one operation. However, we're moving away from PEMDAS and more towards GEMS. You will still see PEMDAS in your textbooks, but hopefully eventually you will start seeing GEMS more often. And so GEMS means grouping. So instead of saying parentheses, we say groupings because it's not only parentheses, but it's braces and it's also brackets. The E would represent exponent. M would represent multiplication, and of course multiplication and division, which is you do them from left to right, whichever one comes first. The S in GEMS would represent subtraction, and again it's subtraction and addition, whichever one comes first, right? Solving from left to right. Let's look at example number 1. Example number 1 was already written. How nice. So look at the example. Let me go ahead and rewrite it just so that we can see the exponents correctly. So 12 multiply, and again when we talk about groupings, right, it's not only parentheses but braces and brackets. Let's look at our first example. Notice that we have brackets and we have parentheses. Now whether brackets, parentheses, or braces, start with the innermost grouping, or the one that's on the inside. So this is the innermost grouping, which is 32 plus 2 cubed. Now I have to solve 2 cubed first in order to add 32 to whatever the result is. So rewrite everything else. So 12 multiply, keep the parentheses, so keep your groupings, 32 plus 2 cubed means 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. Divide by 5 back in the brackets. Now I can do my innermost parentheses now. So now we have 32 plus 2, that's 32 plus 8, is 40. Now again, focus on my groupings, right? Now I have 40, divide 5. So that is what I'm going to solve next. So it'd be 12 multiply 40 times, divide by 5. Sorry, why did I say times? 40 divided by 5 is 8. Now I can remove my brackets. So 12 times 8, and 12 times 8 is 96. So that is the solution for the first one. Let's look at example 2. Example 2, 8 squared plus 6 times 14 minus 12. Again, focus on the groupings, right? Focus on your groupings. Solve the grouping first, because GEMS, G represent groupings. So 8 plus 6, what is 14 minus 12? That is 2. Now we did the G. Now look at E, which is exponent. And 8 squared means 8 times 8, which is 64. So now I have 64 plus 6. And this parentheses means multiply, right? 6 times 2. So 64 plus 12, and 64 plus 12 is 76. Let's look at number 3. Another example. 8 multiply 54 divide 3 squared minus 3. Again, G represents parentheses. I'm sorry, grouping. See that PEMDAS is still so deep in us, but then we have to try to move away. So groupings. So everything inside my parentheses. However, we must move from left to right inside the parentheses just the same. And inside the parentheses, I would focus on the division because that would come first. In order for me to divide 54 divide 3 squared, I have to find out what 3 squared is. We know that 3 squared is 9. Then you rewrite everything else. Now we're solving again inside the grouping. So 8 multiply 54 divide 9 is 6 minus 3. We're still inside the grouping. 8 multiply 6 minus 3 is 3. 8 times 3, you can remove the parentheses. Now 8 times 3 is 24. And that is my solution. Another example. This one has a lot of different groupings, right? I love this one. This one has a lot of different groupings. So look at what you're solving. Look at the groupings. Again, we're focused on gems. So look at the groupings, and remember I said you're doing the innermost grouping. So that's the 7 plus 3. So rewrite everything else. 7 plus 3 is 10. Then again, you work innermost. So we would move now, because we're still in G, we're still in groupings, to 10 times 4. So 4 squared plus 10 times 4 is 40. Divide by 7. Oh, so okay, I'm finished technically with the innermost. So now I am still inside now the braces. So I move to exponents. 4 squared means 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, now again, work to remove your G, your groupings. So 16 plus 40 is 56. Divide 7. I can now remove my braces. So 56 divides 7, and that is 8. How are we doing so far? One last example. And I do prefer gems over PEMDAS only because, again, it allows us to keep all my groupings. So I know that, okay, I'm solving everything involving grouping together. Let's now look at another example. Last example, number 5, innermost parentheses first. So remember to rewrite everything else. Keep everything else the same. 2 plus 6, that would be 8. Good. Now I am still inside my grouping. So I'm working the next part of my group, which is 2 minus 8. And that gives me minus 6. See how integers is so important to solving all of these problems? So if you haven't watched my integers video, go back and watch. I have a video on adding integers and subtracting integers. So I'm left with minus 6 plus 3 cubed. Now I solve my e, which is exponents. 3 cubed means 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. So now I can remove my groupings, negative 6 plus 27. Again, if you need to go back and watch the video on adding integers, negative 6 plus 27 is 21. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and leave a comment. Thank you.